Here we are. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for tuning in the BFCM Prepathon with Cloudways today. As you can see, we are packed. We have 3 guests with us today talking about site speed optimization, loading speed, and making online magical. That's kind of the tagline that we have for BFCM this year. And we want the websites to be as fast as possible so that obviously your customers in the shops, they have a seamless experience. It's almost like browsing through the products and then magically summoning them next to them. That is how smooth we want the checkout experience to be. So I'm very glad that we have 3 top-notch experts with us today. And I would like to go around the room, give a little bit of an introduction for everybody, and then we'll jump into a presentation with Asael, and he's going to show us some pretty exciting things about the loading time. But Shai, tell us a little bit about who you are and what you're talking about today.
My name is Shai Todel. I'm a page speed optimization expert. This is my daily job to optimize performance for clients, and then I will do a presentation right now in this webinar.
Awesome. Asael.
Hola, hola.
Tell us a little bit about what we can expect from you today.
So today, I'm not going to speak a lot. I'm going to show, because when you have good product, you don't need to speak a lot. You just need to show, and the product will sell by himself. So I am just going to show something really, really, really nice, which you don't want to miss.
Amazing. And Or, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I'm Or Fialkov. I'm the CEO of Fialkov Digital. We are a digital agency. And one of our website is EasyCloud, that we have a lot of guides and articles about building website, and of course about website optimization. And I'm going also to show a lot of things live, so you're going to get a lot of good tips.
Amazing. Peachy.
Hello. Hi, I am Peachy, and I am a UX expert, so and a Cloudways maverick, and therefore I am really looking forward to finding out what all these experts are going to tell us today, because speed is a really essential part of UX. And interestingly enough, a lot of good design practices are all aimed at actually make your website faster anyway. So it's always good from any point of view. So I'm very much looking forward to hearing what our guests have to present.
Yes, same here. So let's dive right into the presentation. Let me bring Asael's screen on, and then we can see what he has to share with us.
Okay, so
Asael, we're looking at WhatsApp right now.
Let me share my screen, because I'm not sure, this is the other screen, so I want to select the right screen. Can you give me again the option to share my screen? Thank you.
Yep.
Let's share other screen.
You can see that we are all professionals in terms of making websites load fast, but not in StreamYard. So here we go.
Okay, so hello everybody and welcome. Today I'm going to show you something which everybody wants to see. I am going to do the best test in the world. What do I mean? I cloned a website from other hosting company to Cloudways. I will show you what I mean. This is a hosting company from Israel, and it's considered as one of the best hosting company from Israel. And this is my website. Let's go through the website, and you can see the live timing of loading and everything. And as you can see, we have here something like 50 little photos, and we have also Jet Engine installed, and we have a header and the paragraphs and the form and the background image and a lot of stuff. And now I will show you that from Cloudflare, it's pointing to UPress server. I will show you. If I go to the DNS, I will show you the IP. This is the IP. And also here, exactly the same IP. This is the website. It means that right now, the website we see is from UPress. Now we will take this URL and we will check from London how much time it for full loading. And after that, I will change the IP from Cloudflare to the exact same website on Cloudways, and then we can check where do we get the better results. So right now, as we can see, let's see. Okay, so 2.2 seconds for fully loading. And as you can see, it took to the server 1.3 seconds to time to first byte. Now I am going to change the IP here to Cloudways. This is the website on Cloudways. This is my IP, and I am going to change here to Cloudways, and here also to Cloudways, and I will give it 30 seconds to change the IP until the end. Now, in the meantime, I will show you that all the server settings are fully optimized. It's not like I'm showing you, look, 7.4 PHP, 1024 RAM memory, everything is on the edge. And exactly the same here. As you can see, exactly the same. Over here, you can see on Cloudways, exactly 1024 mega for the RAM and PHP 7.4, and everything is exactly the same. So now, if everything worked, now, as you can see on live, the website fully loaded much faster. And if I go and I want to check that I am on Cloudways, so I will try to go to the WP admin and I will try to insert those logging details. And if everything is correct, so it will log. Yes, if it wasn't on Cloudways, it won't let me log in. Now I'm going to do another test, and the only different is that now this website is on Cloudways. Now let's check the difference. Now let's see what we're going to get. Ta-ta-ta-tam, ta-tam. I am reminding you, this is my last check on other server, and this is when the site is on Cloudways. As you can see, magic. This is magic trick, you see? Magic in the air.
That is damn impressive.
0.6 second for fully loading and 92 millisecond. Now,
That's
look,
shocking.
exactly the same website. Look, we have here 14 or 13 plugins. That's what we have here. If I will move the DNS back to the other hosting company, you will see exactly the same website. And the difference are really a lot of difference. So the first rule, if you want your site to be loaded much faster, move to Cloudways. And I'm not joking. I don't have any percents on Cloudways or something. I'm just a very happy customer. And as you can see, I have 12 servers, and one of the servers got 187 websites, and there are 38, and then more websites. So I'm not just talking. I'm already Cloudways customer. I'm very happy customer. And I think that the product of Cloudways, the hosting, is much better than any other hosting company I ever seen. So that's it. That was my part, and I hope you had.
Impressive, Asael.
Thank you very much.
That is insane. Why do you think is Cloudways so much faster than that other hosting company? If you would have to pinpoint it on like 2 or 3 sentences.
I'm pretty sure I know why. And the reason is because when you go to just some hosting company, most of the time they try to get the cheapest servers, like because they have servers by themselves, but those servers can't be like the servers that Google can afford, or Amazon can afford, or DigitalOcean, or Vultr, or all the biggest companies. So they give you a server, which in most of the time the server itself is inside their office or something, and that's how it looks. And what Cloudways does is they connect for you a very, very, very good servers like Google servers or Amazon Cloud or things like that, and they just giving you a very nice panel to manage your servers, and then you don't need to be developer to use Cloudways, Google Cloud or Amazon Cloud. So you get the best product in very good price and in the best optimization and speed in the world, at least what I could see. And by the way, I already done compare to Israeli companies, and the results are that Cloudways in most of the time, the price is third from whatever the hosting company cost in Israel. It's third.
Of course.
Yes. So if I pay $600 per month on Cloudways, I paid $1,800 in Israeli companies, and that's something I paid for 5 years.
Wow.
Yes.
And that's for worse performance even.
It's not surprising that you're a happy customer, Asa. Wow.
Yes.
I'm
It
looking
makes a big
forward to
difference.
I'm looking forward to hearing more stories like this. I would love to continue with you, or let's put your screen on, because you also have some very exciting things to share with us today.
Yes. So what the first thing that I want to talk about is how we're testing our website speed. So I like to use 3 tools. One is Pingdom. Pingdom is a very easy tool that gives us like the loading time of our website. Is very good tool. The other one is GT Metrics, as Asael showed, but I love to use this premium version because then I can test it on a mobile test and not desktop. This is very precise what is my website speed, and I can see, as Asael showed, the fully loading time and what is the first bit from the server. You can see that in Cloudways the first bit is very, very fast. But the other thing that I like in this this product is that I can see what is my problem. Meaning that if I have a very slow image, or I have a video that take a lot of time to load, so I can see it. And the other things is if I have fonts or other stuff that's not going from the same server. This is important. Basically, we want that all our files go from the same server, but for sometimes like fonts, we use Google font, but we can eliminate that by loading the fonts to the server. So this is the tools that I'm using. Google tool is good. Google's page speed insight is good, but it's not good if we're looking for a grade. This is not a test. What we are looking in Google, what Google is looking for, is basically 3 stuff, okay? One is LCP. I don't want to be very technical, but LCP is the largest content that will be on the screen. And the second thing that's important, I'm not going to talk about FID, is CLS. CLS basically is fields that move in on the screen. Let's say the headline. Why they can move? Because you are using a different font for the headline, and it will load only after the page will load. What we will do in this kind of case, we will preload the font, and then the headline will upload very quickly, and we will not get a movement of the CLS. In the GT metrics, we can see under performance, we can see also, under structure, what is the things that move on our screen and how they change our performance, and then we can fix it, change the elements so we can fix it. So this is how we test the speed. Now, let's go about few tips that will help us to do our website faster. The first thing, and this is the most important thing, I was a website in all the web hosting in Israel, but I moved to Cloudways 1.5 years ago, because Cloudways give us the opportunity to move to cloud. All the world is moving to cloud hosting, and Cloudways give us the opportunity to use cloud hosting without to be a developer. Then I can use Google or Amazon. I myself love DigitalOcean. I think they do an amazing job and they have amazing server. And now they have the very fast premium servers. And I'm using them also because they're cost less than Amazon and Google and give you more. But the important thing is that we got a server in the cloud is better than virtual private server or dedicated server, and it's for sure better than hosting, shared hosting. So the first thing you need to do is to find a good hosting company. And when you go to the cloud, this is the best option you have. The second thing you need to do is to use CDN. I personally love Cloudflare because this is a very big company. They have servers all over the world. I love them because they have server in Tel Aviv, but there is a lot of good CDNs in the world, Rocket CDN and any other CDNs. Cloudways also have CDN. Basically, what CDN is doing is duplicate your website to a lot of servers all over the world, and then you get your website from the server that is most close to you as a user, and not where the website is sitting. Meaning that if my server is in London, but somebody is going to my website from Israel, he will get the website from the server that Cloudflare have in Israel and not from my server in London. This is help us to make the website very, very fast. You can see here in the picture that Cloudflare is saving me almost 1 second in the loading time of my website, only because I'm using it. This is saved me like almost 1 second because I'm using Cloudflare. Very easy to install. If you have a big website and you need video, stuff like that, is not so expensive to buy. Some of them premium assets, but basically this is very helpful. The other thing, the next thing you need to do is to use as much as we can not use a lot of plugins in WordPress. People love to install a lot of plugins, but a lot of plugins make your website very slow. So even Elementor, that I love it, the website builder very much, it make your website slow. So try to install as less as you can of plugins. And also, when you are using a theme, I love to use Hello. Is basically a theme that Elementor build that doesn't have anything inside. Very fast theme. So my website is very fast because I'm not using a special theme for it. About the fonts, Shai, probably you're going to talk. The other thing you need to use is to compress your images. You need to do two things. One, make the right size with the pixel size before you upload to the website. But after you upload to the website, you need to use a tool to compress your media. And I'm using Imagify. There is a short pixel Imagify. They are very good. You can see here that when I'm using Imagify, instead of 500 megabyte, it's compressed my images only to 155 megabytes. It saved me like almost 74% of my size of my images. So it's very easy to use. It's not expensive if you want to use it on all of your websites. And I love Imagify because they're doing a great job and they don't destroy the quality of the image.
And
Another
that's
thing,
especially sorry to interrupt, but I just had a
Yes,
thought. That's
sorry.
especially important when you have like WooCommerce or something installed, because you end up with tons of product images, and
tons,
you
yes.
need you need them to look as good as possible. So it sounds like your suggestion here is a really good way to make WooCommerce faster.
Yes, of course. The other thing you need to use is cache plugin. I love WP Rocket. It's cost money, but it's the best plugin there is. It's very easy to install. Most of the things that is doing without any problem, meaning that lazy load, meaning that if the image is under the screen and nobody is scrolling down, it will not upload the image before somebody is scrolling down, or adding this dimension of the image or doing optimization to the CSS and the JavaScript. I think this is the best cache plugin there is. There is a lot of other plugins, but very easy to use and doing a lot of good job. There is all the time they are improving this plugin, and it's doing a very good job to improve your website speed. So after we did these two things, here also you can do preload for the font, meaning that if you are using font, don't use too many fonts on your website. First, it doesn't look good, but secondly, you can preload the font in WP Rocket, meaning that the first thing that will load when you load in the website will be the font, and then we will not see movement of your headline or text in the website when you're loading. First, for the user, we will get very good experience, and for the speed, we will get very good speed because you will see the website very quickly. So basically, this is a lot of good tips for the another two things that's very important for Elementor. Elementor is a builder that a lot of websites using it, but he has a lot of problems with loading times. So one of the things that you can do is not using his icons. Instead, he using like the three kinds of icons. One is Elementor icons, E icons. I disable them by code. The second thing is font awesome 4 and 5. So basically, we are not using font awesome 4 and not font awesome 5. Why? Because when you use one icon, is uploading all the file and not only one icon. And then we upload the icons by ourselves to the website. Then it's very helpful to make the website fast. I have a lot of tips that very technical also in Cloudways. If you want, I can talk about them. Let me know.
I would encourage everybody who's seeing this to ask the questions. If you have more technical things for us, ask the questions in the chat, and then we'll make sure that we get to them. If we cannot get to them by the end of this webinar, we'll definitely follow up with Asael and Shai to get you the answers for that. But this is very important stuff. I love how your tips not just improve the loading speed, but also things like no changing fonts, for example, improve the perceived quality of the website too.
Yes.
Because if you have a font loading in Arial and then it goes to Comic Sans or whatever, it looks weird and people wonder what is going on the website. So that was a very important tip in itself.
And for the SEO tips, so you can see my Google Search Console. If you go to, I'm sorry, it's in Hebrew, but if you go to your Web Vital report, you can see that all of my pages are green, meaning that they're fast by Google, not they're really fast, meaning the CLS, the FID, and the LCP is in Google speed, Google terms. And if you are not green, you have like a red that is bad or need improvement that is yellow, meaning that you need to work about your page speed because it's will improve your SEO efforts. Okay, so this is also very important. You can see it in the Google Search Console, and it will help to your SEO efforts.
So it's really interesting what you said about the fonts, or because as I was saying earlier, designers recommend all the time to be consistent with fonts. And in fact, I usually recommend to use one font if you can. It's the best thing that you can do in terms of UX and design, as well as speed and performance. So I really like it when we all coincide, when the best practices help everyone and it's confirmed. We confirm one another. It's like just one, it'd be fine.
So I think you can agree with me that more than 2 fonts in a website is too much.
I completely agree. I mean, sometimes you can make the choice and you can think, actually, I care so much about this. For some reason, having more than that is so important that I don't care about the speed. But really, 3 fonts is already, I think, too many. There's something, if you've chosen a typeface that has enough contrast, enough weights and so on, then there's no reason. And actually, but I won't go down that rabbit hole, because as I was talking, there's a difference between 2 typefaces and 2 fonts, because 2 fonts is 2 different representations of the same typeface. So even 2 different weights is already 2 different fonts within the same typeface.
So bold and thin are 2 fonts.
Basically, yes.
You're very right. What we are doing, sometimes we are using one font, but with CSS we are changing it to bold or the weight of it instead of loading a lot of fonts, because then it's make the website slower. I know a lot of designer doesn't love it, but when I look about the comparison between I want a very fast website that loaded less than a second, and my designer ambition to be the best website, so I want my website to be very fast. I just wanted to say that in Elementor you can upload in the Elementor you can upload the fonts and then use it in your website instead of loading them for Google. So even if you're using Google fonts, you can download them from Google, upload them to your website before you start to work on it, and using it all of your website using by Elementor.
So it's local rather than having to. Yeah. Great. Yeah. I love talking about typography, so I could carry on, but let's not. But I'm glad that it's really good that I can always, confirm, and back my claims with more evidence from the tech guys. So thanks for that.
Thank you very much.
Before we go on to Shai's presentation, just a quick run through the comments here. Abdul Salam asked, can I watch this video after some time? And yes, you can. We'll keep this up on Facebook. We're streaming this to YouTube as well. And on the Cloudways Twitter page, you will find the video embedded too. So you can definitely catch the replays there. Sadia says, incredibly important tips to remember. So thank you for Cloudways for bringing those 3 people together. Peachy and I really don't contribute much other than asking questions from time to time and elaborating. So you guys are doing an amazing job. Thank you for being with us today. And then Lee asked, this is going to be a good one. I think, Shai, if we can answer that after your presentation, it would be pretty cool. If I score an A, but my site is, let's say, 5+ megabytes, should I be worried? I would love to come back to that at the end of your presentation if we still have time.
Okay.
Awesome. Over to you then. I'll put your screens up and ready to rock and roll.
Okay, so let's go into the presentation. A little about myself. I'm Page Speed Optimization Expert, 2-time award winner of WordPress Speed Contest. I have an online course in which I share my knowledge and teach all the stuff, and you can go to my blog. Why do we need faster sites? It's obvious, but still, for users, so they will not abandon the site just because it's too slow. Improve conversions and sales. I will show real-world case studies later on. Help organic SEO, as page experience signals are part of Google ranking parameters. And if you build a beautiful site for clients, but the site is slow and the score is low, the client will not be pleased and he will not recommend you to others. So it's everything around it, also for the users, also for SEO, for recommendations, everything we want them to, so the site will be faster. Now about the page experience Google update. Not long ago, Google announced an update about to add more signals to the ranking parameters, and one of them is Core Web Vitals. It's actually page experience, and inside of it is Core Web Vitals, and among other things. Now, about Core Web Vitals, these are signals that Google used to measure the quality of a page. They are not just about speed. I will speak about it soon. The LCP is, so these are the three metrics related to Core Web Vitals. The duration until the largest element above the fold is shown. This is the LCP. Usually it's an image, but it can be text. And we will do different things if it's an image and if it's a text. The FID is how long a web page takes to become responsive. So it's after interaction, like button click or link pressed, how much time it takes until the browser responds to it, mostly affected by JavaScript. And the last one is CLS, which is not related to speed exactly. It's about stability, which is measuring the movement of elements without user interaction. What I mean that if the user click on the menu and the menu pops up, this is a good shift. This is not a problem. But if you are loading the page and the content is here, and then a banner, an ad goes above it and shift the content down, this is a bad CLS and you will hurt your score. So this is about the Core Web Vitals. Ways to measure Core Web Vitals is with Google PageSpeed Insight, GTmetrix, web page test, Search Console, and online tools about it. Now, for I will not go and read everything. I just want to show you a few examples of real-world examples where known companies improved their Core Web Vitals and improved their sales and improved the average session duration and improved the bounce rate, everything here. Okay, so it's all published and everything is from the last few months, by the way. Another thing, more things about Yelp and Google itself found that it's obvious, but users will abandon the page less if it's quick enough. Aldo found really hundreds of % differences in profits between users that have experienced low page and versus fast. So this is really things from the real world. It's not just something that we want to let's take the site and take it fast. It's helped the sales and the conversions. Now, about some practical points for optimizations, some of them already Or talked about, but lazy load, for example, like I said, it's to not load the images below default. I will add including background images which is not so very common to do. For example, WP Rocket doesn't know how to lazy load background images. I have solutions for it in my course, but you need to understand that it can be done. Images, compressions, image formats. For example, a lot of time I can see a very big PNG file without transparency. Now, this is a waste because PNG file is the most important part of it, that it allow transparency. But if you have a very big image without transparency, just convert it to JPEG and it will save you space. It will save you the weight. Mobile size images, very, very often I can see that a page is loading 1920 pixel width of image in the desktop, but also on mobile. And this is this is stuff that we need to pay attention when we are going to check mobile score. And usually desktop is very easy to gain a high score, but mobile is much harder. And this is one point to improve the mobile. JavaScript. Nowadays, all the JavaScripts, most of the JavaScripts are lazy loading, or for the right phrase is delayed. They are delayed after user interaction. A lot of things. It will improve your page speed a lot. WP Rocket, for example, are doing it by default. But it can cause some issues, like, for example, you need to press two clicks on the mobile menu. So there are some fixing to these issues, but this is one very, very important point for optimization. 404 errors and redirects, also stuff that are not that we can see in many sites. Just if you have 404 errors, that means that you have images that are not exist anymore, but you still call them. Find these errors and remove the calls and improve the performance about it. And redirects also, a lot of time you can check the site with www and without it, and it will do extra redirects, and it hurt your performance. And of course, fast hosting. Cloudways, I'm a big fan of it. It all started, I don't know, 2 years ago or even more, because I had an account in a very slow hosting, and I moved to another slow hosting because there are a lot of recommendations and stuff, and it was still slow for me. So I did a real comparison for me, and only after I saw the results, I moved my site to Cloudways. I actually didn't thought they will win, but they won, and I really happy about it. So this is about some practicals. Now for another very small thing, cheating the scores. One of the things that I see a lot of times, that page speed experts takes very low money for optimizing a site, usually on Fiverr and stuff, but they cheat the scores. Now, what I mean, they put a JavaScript to full page speed test. They are doing one thing for page speed test and another thing for the real users. And I can show you, and I will show you in a second. Now, how can we check if an optimization expert cheat or not? This is so let's see, for example, this is a real example of a site that I checked. This is the greens. This is what they are sharing with the client that they did, but these are the real results. The C with all the reds. These are the real results. And what you can see that when I check the thumbnail of the image in GTmetrix or in PageSpeed Insight, we can see that it was just empty, just headers, something in the header, and a very blank space below the header, because what they are doing, and you can see in the a very small script above, they are doing something different if this is the IP of GTmetrix, or if this is Lighthouse, then you are doing something one or something else. And this is one, for example, one thing that a cheater did. This is another thing you can see here. This is the same site. It's not a different hosting or something else. It just, the only difference between this one and this one, that here I checked with iPad and not with the regular Chrome. And because this cheater did something specific for GTmetrix Chrome, then you can see in the thumbnail that this is the image of the site. But when I checked the site and I saw that it was with something wrong, this is what I saw in real life. The reason I saw that it was strange and it was not real, because I went into the site and it wasn't fast. I saw something was not right, and I checked and I saw that they are loading a lot of assets in my Chrome in local test, and in the GTmetrix of the client, he loaded a much less, for example.
So we have to be very careful with who we let work on our sites.
Yeah, you need to understand page speed optimization takes time. It's not just here, put some plugin and that's it. So you can just, it takes time. And if you're going to Fiverr, sorry about it, because a lot of experts there are doing that. If you are going to do optimization in $100, you might get some cheating on your site. This is what I'm seeing every time. By the way, I'm seeing it also not in WordPress, and even in Shopify there are cheaters exactly the same. This is one thing that we need to handle in my world.
Wow, what a way to wrap up this presentation, and we are almost at the time limit. So first of all, I want to thank Shai, Asael, and everybody who's watching us live, because we had a steady stream of people watching this, which is really exciting. One thing I would love to close up with is that we have early access for everybody who's watching this now. We have early access to the Cloudways BFCM deal. You can learn more by checking the pinned comment on the video on all the channels. So we are streaming this to Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, but you have to be quick, because only the first 5,000 people get in. And it might sound like a big number, but 5,000 people isn't a big number with the audience that we are reaching. So definitely pay attention to the comments. And there's also another comment that I wanted to mention, and that is to make it very obvious what we are doing today. And this is Mahmoud. I'm sorry, we cannot check the website today. It was very smart self-promotion though, but we cannot check the website because we don't do reviews today. Everybody, thank you so much.
But I can say to Mahmoud, go to my site. I offer there free recommendations, so you can ask me.
Yeah, that is actually a fantastic point. Shai, Asael, or in that order, please tell us where we can learn more about what you do.
So first of all, I have on my Facebook, Asael Dreyer, like it's written here. And if someone wants to learn Hebrew, so he can go to my Facebook group, which is in Hebrew, and it come included with a Hebrew course. So if they want, they can join my Facebook group. Of course, I'm joking, on my private Facebook.
Awesome. And Or, where do people get in touch with you?
So we have a website. It translates a few. We have it also in Hebrew and also in Italy. We just translate it to any other languages. It's called Easy Cloud, and you can you will have a lot of guides how to speed up your website there.
Awesome. And Shai.
Yeah. So I have a blog in English called shaitoder.com, and you can check. I can give you recommendations, and you can learn about my course there. So have fun.
Awesome. Peachy?
Yeah, you can find me on LinkedIn these days mostly. Best place. Peach and Harry, you
Awesome.
can find me. I'm like Asael. It's very convenient to have a unique name. Easy to
true.
be found. Yeah.
And for me, it's Twitter at I am Jan Koch. Thank you so much, everybody, for spending the time with us. We'll call it a day. Have a great start into the week.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye
Thank
bye.
you.